Okay, we're gonna start this video off with a 2014 Mustang V6 convertible. Racing stripes, Smurf blue paint, 81,000 miles on the clock. Good looking car, listed as a run and drive. This thing has been here for a long time. I'm talking months I've seen this car sitting here. Not really sure why it's here. It's got a couple little dings. Nothing major. The paint looks good. Tires look good. Yeah, I don't know why it's here. We'll take a look at it real quick. Check out the inside. Like I said, it is a run and drive. I'm trying to hold this door here. Okay, I don't want to scratch the paint or anything. Beautiful car. Needs a good interior cleaning, but fires right up.
Ready, set,
H2O! Low tire pressure, low fuel. Other than that, though, really nice car. I like this. I mean, I don't think I'd be happy with a V6. Although I will tell you, these V6 Mustangs, I think, are pushing like 300 horsepower. So don't let it fool you guys. It's no slouch. It's got the shaker audio system. Take a look under the hood. I mean, I'm just not a V6 guy, you know. But I will give the car mad props because, ooh, we got a little bit of a chip here. You can see that. Another chip here. Let's get down in here and open this hood. There's that V6. Good looking engine. Everything under here looks good. I'm not even sure if this was a rebuild car or... Huh. I can hear the air compressor kicking in and turning off. Okay. Well, I've already put it in gear and I can feel it going to gear forward and backward. Nice car. I'm not interested in this though. Like, there's no reason for me to buy this. It's because it's a V6 and I've already had the 15 Mustang GT Performance Pack and I've had the 17 Mustang GT. So just this car would not satisfy me. And the Smurf blue is a that's one of those colors that you just either love or hate. There's really not much of a middle ground. And although yeah, maybe there is a middle ground. I kind of like it, but I just couldn't see myself driving this. People call me Papa Smurf. Although I guess that'd be all right. I don't think I'd be too upset. In my opinion, Papa Smurf was the coolest Smurf of all. All right, let's go look at something else. All right, so this is one that I was seriously considering. I've been thinking about upgrading my truck and selling Big Red because I do plan on getting a trailer and I'll probably in the future end up going out of state to find some better cars. Unfortunately, Oklahoma City doesn't have a lot of particularly interesting vehicles. So I've been looking around and you go to Arizona, you go down to Texas, definitely Dallas and Houston, San Antonio, they got some good stuff there. Kansas City, they got some good stuff. So Wichita also. So I thought, you know, we may have to start driving a little bit. I'd like to get a newer truck, something with a little less miles on it, hopefully, or something that is just in really solid condition, plus something that'd be fun to rebuild. So what we have here is a 2016 Chevy Silverado. This truck has a clean title. This is not a salvage title. Clean title, it's books at $17,500, 69,000 miles on the clock, excellent tires, great condition in and out. So you're probably wondering why this thing is even here. And I'm going to tell you that in a minute. This is why you got to be really careful, guys and gals. Be very careful when you're about to bid on something because this truck will fool you if you did come out here and look at it. It's a beautiful truck, and for 7,500 bucks out the door for a $17,500 vehicle, how could you possibly go wrong with this? And the truth is, you couldn't go wrong with this even if you wanted to. The truth is also, it requires a new frame. This truck will not be okay on the frame that it's on. It is undrivable with its current frame, and I'm glad that I came out here and looked before I got excited and jumped on this for $7,500. With fees, you're going to be looking at around $8,200 approximately. I almost did that. I almost jumped on this and said, hell no, there's no way this truck is sitting here for that cheap, and I almost bought it before someone else did, but I'm glad I came out here and had a look at it. So we've got the work truck floor, and it fires right up. absolutely wonderful. Other than a low tire sensor, no lights on the dash. We got the touch screen. It's got cold air, hot heat. What could possibly be wrong with this truck? I'm going to show you that right now. I think the hood may already be popped on it. It is. I'm going to roll this window down just a little bit. I don't want to, come on now. I don't want to risk locking the keys in the truck. So this is why it's real important to come out here, folks, and look these things over. Ugh, where's the damn hood release? There it is. All right, so you take a look under the hood. You don't see anything wrong with it, right? It looks great. It runs great. It just sounds wonderful. What a good deal for a truck, right? Now this has the 5.3 liter V8. It's a pretty good motor. I mean, it's actually a really good motor. It's very torquey, so it'll be great for moving cars around. Now here's where we run into a problem. Oh, we got it's listed as undercarriage damage, so you can see we've got some plastics under here that are just hanging off. But if you get under here, oh, wow. So this thing hit a rock or something really, really big. And you can see right here, you see that bolt, how it's twisted and tweaked? Yeah, this whole frame, the frame is actually cracked and pulled apart right there. Yeah, this frame is shot, folks. It's done. Now, that doesn't make the truck a bad deal, not at all. At the price point it's at for a buy it now, $7,500, this is still a great deal. I'm gonna lose my phone. This is still a great deal for a truck. It really is, because this has a clean title. I found frames, section frames. You can get the front section. I was actually talking to Mike Weird Beard about it. He said, man, it could be done. He said he'd prefer if we had a full frame and just swap the whole truck, the body off of this frame and put everything onto a new one. Complete frame, brand new. I found brand new overstock frame for this for about $1,300, but it's in Michigan. That's too far away, not worth it. Now, it may not be worth it to me, but it might be worth it to you. That's just an awful long way to go for a frame, and not to mention the amount of time it's going to take to pull every piece off of this truck and put it onto a new one. Now, I also want to point out that the wheels don't turn. Not at all, because this truck has a rack and pinion steering, and the rack has been just smashed by the frame. You could bear hug this and try to turn it. It doesn't do anything. And no, it's not a lack of power steering. The rack is crushed. The gearbox is, well, it's not really a gearbox, so to say, but it's crushed. Everything under there is crushed. So it's going to need a frame. But look at it this way. You know, you spend $8,000 on the truck. You buy the truck. You spend $1,500, let's say, on the frame. Get them to include the rack and pinion and all the little stuff you need down there. Sits right down here. You can kind of see it right down there where these boots are. You know, you get them to leave that on there with the new frame, and you swap everything over. It's a big job. It's a huge job. I mean, an absolutely huge job. But after that's all said and done, what do you have in it? 10 grand? You got 10 grand in a truck that you're going to be able to sell for $16,000, $17,000, maybe more, maybe a little less, depending on what market you're in. $16,000, $17,000 for a truck. That's a hell of a profit. That's a hell of a profit. It's enough to, I'm still thinking about it. The problem is, if I drop that amount of money, that's pretty much going to leave me with no money to do anything else. So I got to be real careful here, guys. It's really important that I make good decisions on what I buy. And, you know, quick flips is really where it's at right now, because that is how you make money quickly. And if you end up getting a bad deal, you lose the least amount of money possible. Okay, let's continue. And speaking of cheap cars, here's one right here. This is a donated run and drive 2003 Chevy Impala. Sorry for the background noise, guys. Nothing I can do about that. 138,000 miles on the clock. We've got Cooper CS tire on the back, and we've got Mastercraft on the front. Check the other side. I'm a big fan of matching tires. Matching tires tells me someone took care of it. Cooper CS on the back on this one as well, so at least the back match. And if this is Mastercraft on the front, and it is, so someone at least replaced the tires in pairs. Not as good as someone that would have replaced all four, but not too bad. The paint's decent. Lots of scratches, lots of little paint marks, paint transfer down the side. This looks like a car that might have belonged to an older person. and this is probably a car that's not going to go for much. I'm pretty sure this car won't go for much, but Impalas always sell. Impalas are great cars for resale. It actually smells really good in here, although it's very dirty. Could definitely use a good cleaning. Let's see if we can fire it right up. I hear a lifter tap from the engine. I think that's a lifter tap. Let's pop the hood real quick. There we go. Someone's got the wipers on. Let's turn those off. Yeah, that may be more than a lifter tap. That almost sounds like a piston slap or possibly even a rod knock. I can feel a misfire in the engine. Air conditioning does work. Believe it or not, that's important out here. In the driver's window working, that's important as well. Like, you get air conditioning in a working driver's window in a car that runs and drives. Do you guys hear that? That doesn't sound like a lifter. Not at all. Actually, that does sound like lifters. That almost sounds like this car maybe has the blown lower plenum gasket, which these 3400s, 3100s are absolutely known for. See if there's milkshake under the cap. I don't see any milkshake. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let's shut her down. I do believe that there might be water in the oil on this one. Dang, I was really looking at this one as the next flip. Again, that's why I tell you, come out here and view these cars. Look at all the oil on this. I mean, that's insane. We need to wipe this off on something. All right, so we cleaned the dipstick off and we're going to put it back in here and check again. No, the oil level looks right. I don't see any coolant, I don't see any signs of coolant in the engine. And somebody's already done the lower plenum gasket. That's obvious. You got the valve covers replaced here, the valve cover gaskets. I can see new intake gaskets right here. So somebody has already done the lower plenum gasket. Very interesting the way it's tapping like that. Now maybe it hasn't run in a while, so I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna shut the video off for just a second. We're gonna let this car warm up and see if that tap goes away. Okay, so the car is starting to warm up. It's coming up to operating temperature, and that noise has not gotten any better. Hasn't gotten any worse. It's a difficult sound to diagnose. You know, it really could be a lifter issue. It could be a collapsed lifter, which could be why it's misfiring. It could also be a bad coil causing the misfire and has nothing to do with the lifter at all. It's hard to say, but it definitely sounds like a collapsed lifter. Then again, whoever did the lower plenum gasket, if they pulled the push rods and everything out, which they have to because the push rods actually go through the intake, the lower intake manifold, they could have put the push rods, I've done it before, gotten them mixed up. Some are shorter, some are the intake and the exhaust are not the same length. If you get them mixed up, you'll have the same issue. It will make noise like this, and it will run rough like this. It could be a wrist pin, but something tells me it's gonna be somewhere in the lifter valley. That's what I'm thinking. Either way, it's got good pressure on the cooling system. It's warming up nicely. There's no water in the oil. But I'm thinking we're gonna pass on this one. Just gonna pass on it. I don't want to mess with this one. Let's go look at something else. Here's a 2012 Kia Soul that I was looking at, and I may still be interested in it, I don't know. But in the pictures, all I could really see from the pictures was the damage to the bumper right here, and I thought, really, that's it? Wow, that's a great deal. But as you look at it now in person, you can see the damage here. You can see the hood's offset pretty good to this side. And actually, on this side, the hood looks like it's sitting straight. So it's not that the hood has been offset, as it is that this side has been tweaked. You can see where it is bowed out right here. So the impact pushed back on this and pushed all of this out, which moved everything over to the left. So there's definitely going to be some damage under there to take a look at. I don't know what the mileage is on it. Looks like the fender apron over here is still in good shape. The frame rail is in good shape as well. This really doesn't look like it's that big of a deal. All right, so the headlight's obviously been broken, tabs broken over there. Under here, the crash bar actually still looks like it's fine, so I'm a little confused as to what happened here. It's hard to see, but my guess is that down here, it has been tweaked. Yeah, the header panel is cracked everywhere down here. I don't know if you can see that on video, but the header panel is definitely torn up. But everything else under here looks like it's pretty straight. So that's not to say, though, that's not to say that this did not get pushed back somewhere, but it doesn't look like it did. It almost looks like you could put a new fender on this, a new header panel, new headlight, new bumper. I'll have to price that stuff out and see what all that runs. It would be great if you could find it in this particular beige color. I don't even know if that's beige. I think that's a beige color. Oh, it's okay. 167,000. That's a lot of miles. Yeah, I can understand certainly why it's totaled out then. That's a lot of miles. And you add to it that it's a stick shift. Now for me, that's great. The shifter feels really good. The bushings don't feel worn out or anything. Yeah, I love stick shifts, but so many people today don't even know how to drive them. It can be very difficult to sell a stick shift because people just don't know how to drive them anymore. Fired right up. Looks like we do have an airbag light. Now that appears to be it. Airbag light, and that's it. But I don't see any blown bags. Does the window work? The window does work. And I'm sure the air conditioning works. In Oklahoma, air conditioning always works. Well, not always, but 99% of the time. I don't hear the air compressor. There it is. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Okay, yes, air conditioning works and the driver window works. Like, those are the most important things right there. I don't know. Let's take a look at the rest of the car. It runs good. It sounds good. It needs a good cleaning for sure, but not too bad. We've got Silver Edition. I can't even read those tires. Arizonan. Yeah, I can't read that. There's mud all over it or dirt. So it looks like the tires on that side match. Tires on this side match as well. All Silver Editions. You know, honestly, if you just wanted to go and put this thing as a rebuilt, it wouldn't be that difficult. It might sell. This is one I'll keep under consideration. We'll see what the bids go up to. The hood closes, and the gaps over here are not great. I was almost going to say the gaps are good, but they're not. You can see this has been tweaked. So I'm going to bet there's more than what we're seeing here, folks. There's more than what we're seeing. Definitely things over here got pushed out and we're just not seeing it. It's something we'd probably have to tear off this front end before we find out what the damage is. I'm still going to keep this one on my list. This one is still a possibility. So let's move on to the next one and see what else we got in store out here. And speaking of me looking for a new truck, here's a 2011 Ford F-150. And we'll get back to, well, this is kind of a two-part story on this truck because I've got another 2011 Ford F-250 that I'm actually looking at that has front end damage, and this one would definitely cover the front end damage. Now this is a 4x4. I'm really not looking for a 4x4. I'd really prefer just a two-wheel drive truck. 184,000 miles. This one has a good body. The interior leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, a lot. to be desired. This thing is in really, really rough shape. Yeah, this is just, I mean, I'm sure it could be detailed and cleaned up and it'd look a lot better, but I don't know. This says it has mechanical damage, but it doesn't say anything else. So you don't know what the mechanical damage is. I don't think this is a run and drive. And it's definitely dead as a doornail. So we can't check anything out other than what we can see from popping the hood. 4x4, decent tire on the back. I don't know how the rest are. It's just this truck has just been beat up. You know, it's been beat on pretty hard. Yeah, tire back here is not that great. The tires up here look okay. I wonder what the mechanical damage is. Now this has the 5-liter, so I could be mistaken, but isn't this the same motor that comes in the Coyote Mustang? I'm pretty sure it is. But like I said, I could be wrong. I know that this is the 5.0, and the one that I'm looking at, the Super Duty, has a 6.2. I wonder what the mechanical damage is. It's got coolant, or does it? Yes, it has coolant. Okay, so we've got coolant. And let's check the oil. Man, this thing is a bear to get into. You gotta like climb up on it. The oil is down here. It's got clean oil. And it's got coolant. Okay, so what's the problem? It'd be nice to know what the actual mechanical damage is, or give us a hint. Everything under the oil cap looks good. Does this have a trans dipstick, or is this going to be one of those that they don't give you a dipstick for the transmission? Could be just me, but it almost looks like the engine is tilted a little bit to the top. I don't see a trans dipstick in this at all, folks. So that's a downer. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I like to be able to check the transmission. Let's take a look underneath and see if there's anything obvious going on under here. And that's a no. Motor looks good under here. There's no leaks at all. Huh. The suspension looks like it's in really good shape. Ball joints, tie rods, axles. Everything looks good. This is it's a little confusing why this is here then. I mean, I guess it could be anything from a rod knocking in the motor to bad transmission to a bad rear differential, a bad front differential. I don't know. The transfer case, it's hard to get under here, folks, but everything under here looks good. Looks real good. So aside from just being extremely dirty, I mean extremely dirty, it looks like somebody soiled themselves in the front seats multiple times. This truck even has Microsoft Sync. It's really not a horrible bad truck. Buy it now price is $3,500, which is that's a very cheap price for a truck like this. You know, this truck, if running and driving, would definitely bring more than $3,500. I mean, this truck all day long, even in this condition in Oklahoma, I'd say you could bring an easy $5,000–6,000 out of this, and I mean easy, fairly quick sale, especially with that 5.0 in it. Let me double check. I want to confirm this is the 5.0 up here. Oh, yeah, 5.0 right there. So, this would be a heck of a risk, but I mean, $3,500 isn't bad for this. It'd be really interesting to buy it just to find out what the deal is with it. All right, let's move on to the next one. I'll keep this on my list. Here we got a 2012 Chevy Camaro, and this one I'm somewhat interested in, albeit it's a V6. That's fine. I still think it's a really sharp looking car. Obviously, as you can tell from the way it's sitting, we've got damage to the other side, but I haven't been able to look at it yet and see how bad the damage is. So I always check when it's suspension damage. This wheel's turned all the way to the left, You also want to check the back wheels and see if you can eyeball it, see if they've been tweaked at all. Back wheel on this side looks fine. So we'll check on the other side as well. Very nice. I think this is really, I like this. Look how shiny that is. Really, really clean car. Really clean. All right. Take a look at the back here. And you want to talk about a hot commodity item. This car's selling a heartbeat. Now here's where we have all the damage. Now this front bumper is not something I would replace, seeing as it still has everything under here, just a broken tab right here that we could definitely fix. Now the suspension is it's all gone. They hit something pretty dang hard, so this fender is toast, obviously. But what's interesting is here is the structural portion of the car right here. Here's your spot wheels. This is all intact. All of this is intact. You can see where it just ate through the tire, right? Okay. So this is good news. This is good news. Look at this. Everything under here is still in good shape. This looks totally fixable. Now, you want to check and see where the control arm mounts and see if it has been tweaked. And unfortunately, with the way this car is sitting, it's really hard to tell if it's been bent or not, but the subframe actually looks like it may be okay. So it's gonna need a new sway bar. There's the sway bar down there, and it is bent to hell. So it'll definitely require another sway bar. This lower control arm is shot. The strut obviously shot. The hub shot. Sway bar end link shot. And tie rod, hold on, is the tie rod actually looks straight. The tie rod looks like it's still good on this. Otherwise, everything under here appears to have survived. So, a fender, an entire suspension, and I mean, there is always the possibility, because we can't get this car up and really look at it. There's definitely a possibility that we have damage to the subframe, but look at it. That's the mounting point right there for the control arm, and it looks fine. The subframe looks like it is fine, but there's really just no way to know. This is one of those that, you know, you kind of have to take a risk on it depending on what it goes for. Now, this is a pure sale, so whatever it sells for, you know, it's a wrap. I don't understand why it doesn't run, though. It says it's a no run. I suppose there could be damage underneath that we just can't see, you know? There could be transmission damage, rear end damage. It's hard to say. Take a look and just do a preliminary check of some of the fluids real quick, starting with the coolant. That doesn't look promising. It could just be low on coolant, but I don't see any coolant in there. It could be that something was damaged under here. I don't know. Truthfully, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, the coolant, it doesn't feel like there's any coolant in it at all. Let's check the oil level. Okay, the oil is full and the oil looks decent, and this will be one that has a sealed transmission, so we won't be able to check the tranny on this one either. No trans. I can see the transmission down there, and I mean, from what I can see, everything looks okay. Still don't understand why it's a no start, though. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Let's check the rear wheel on the passenger side and see if it looks tweaked at all. It doesn't. I don't even see any impact marks on it. Comment below. What do you think of the V6 Camaro? It's got power. The trunk just opened. Oh, there's your tire, your wheel, your hub assembly. Everything's down here. In fact, the tire still has air in it. So there's your caliper, and the caliper's probably still good. Obviously, you need the hub assembly. It just shattered that. But the wheel may have survived. Huh. Yeah, it's always good to have extra parts in here. They may be able to save you a little bit of money. There's the rocker cover. Whoa! Whoever had this car was short. All right. Looks like everything is lit up. Everything comes to life. So it starts right up. Interesting, this is listed as a no start. It's not supposed to run or anything. Oil pressure is maxed out at 70. We're gonna have lights on, obviously. Tire pressure, that makes sense. StabiliTrak makes sense because it works off the ABS system and it's missing. Traction control, all that stuff makes sense. None of this stuff is gonna work because we're missing an entire brake caliper. Now it does have the e-brake on. And there you go, it goes into gear, right back into park. There's neutral. Yeah, I can feel it engage into drive and reverse. Interesting. This one, ladies and gentlemen, might be a really interesting fix. I like this. How about a little bit of carnage? An 07 F-150, and I believe this is a Super Duty. I mean, whoever was inside of this, you know, when a truck hits something, it hurts. Trucks are big. These things have tough frames, and when you hit something, you feel it. And this one, man, did it hit something. Or something hit it, but I'm gonna guess that front end collision, they either rear-ended somebody, or you see the way this is twisted, the wheels turned. It almost looks like maybe they were trying to avoid somebody hitting them. You know, someone could have blown through a red light while they were coming through. It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure, this thing took one hell of a hit, and it's got paint all over it. So yeah, that's some kind of paint. It hit some kind of a paint vehicle. Paint is just splattered all over this thing. Glass everywhere. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to have been riding in this thing when it hit whatever it hit. Look at the damage up here too. That's weird. I wonder what caused that. That's kind of just out of the blue there. No other damage around back here except for that. Very interesting. Look at the frame rail right here, man. Just I mean, what a mess. What a mess. Look how it just split the hood. Wow, that is sharp. Wow. I'm not going to try to walk back here. I don't think there's any more damage back there. We do have a lake, so I'm not trying to go all the way back there. But man, oh man, hope whoever was in this and the car that it hit, hope everybody walked away from this one. I didn't notice this, but look at the roof. Can you see that? The roof is bent in half down the middle. It bent the roof. I didn't even see that. Look at this. Wow. How about a 2006 Ford Mustang GT convertible? A little more carnage for you. And I got another one after this. The one coming up is very personal to me. As Tim and I were walking through here, we came across one of my old cars that I had with my ex-wife and my kids. And like it seems like a whole lifetime ago. We were just walking through Copart, and just the other day, walking through Copart and ran right into it. I couldn't believe it. So here we have an 06 Mustang GT convertible that took obviously one hell of a front end hit. Also got quarter panel back here in the back. They tried to cover it up as best they could with all this plastic, but you know, they can only do so much. It's got water in it back here. Talk about a hit though. Let's take a look under the engine bay here, or under the engine bay. Let's take a look at the engine bay here. Look at this. Well, that's nice and round, almost like a telephone pole, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, it looks like they hit a pole.
Or a street light.
Yeah. Stoplight, street light, something. Man, oh man. Yeah, I think this thing's off to the scrapper now. The engine's probably still good, but I mean, even then, that's a guess. That's a total guess on this. You don't know how far back the damage is. And there's not much of the interior that looks like it's in very good shape anymore. Yeah. Still, it makes for some good carnage video though, doesn't it? All right, so this is the car I was telling you about. This car really does have a special place in my heart because this was a different life for me. This was a completely different time in my life. I can remember the things I was going through. My ex-wife had a major accident at work and she had a pretty severe back injury. And, you know, she got paid out after a couple years eventually. They paid us out, or her out, around $35,000. So first thing we did, me being a car guy, is I went out as a younger man. This was 10 years ago. I actually have pictures I'll post up after you see this. I'll post up the pictures of it before. It was like this when I bought it, not wrecked, but it had the body kit and everything already on it. But the first thing we did with that money is we went out and we bought a trailer. Actually, I used the money to buy a trailer because I knew she was into some bad stuff, dope mainly, and I wanted a safety net for myself. So I convinced her to let me buy a trailer and put it in my name as something we would rent out, which eventually ended up living in. Also, I convinced her to buy me this. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't all that much, and we bought her a Dodge Neon also. I bought the Neon because they're easy to work on. Parts, even 10 years ago, were cheap. I actually bought this car in September of 2009. The only thing different about the car today, 10 years later, is the rims. Everything else is identical. These are the same taillights that came with it when I bought it. And if you look under here, there is a turbo badge, which it's not a turbo, but that's important because it's real easy to say, oh, it looks like your car, but it's not your car. There are so many things on this car that I know for a fact it's mine, like it came with the Extreme badge on the passenger door, but it's not on the driver door. That's important to remember. You'll see all of that in the pictures that I'm going to provide for you in just a moment. As you can see, no Extreme badge there. This is carbon fiber. We've got a carbon fiber fenders, carbon fiber hood. The front bumper was fiberglass. And I don't know if you can see down here, but where this crack is, there's some, it almost looks pinkish now, but this used to be orange. I ran over a parking block and I cracked the front bumper, and I used some kind of Bondo or body filler to patch it. There's more of it over here, but I cracked it and I tried to fix it with some body filler. It never held. So yeah, it was really weird for Tim and I to be walking around Copart looking at cars the other day, and we ran into this, and as soon as I saw it, I knew that I had just run into a car that used to be mine. And that was just that was crazy. Like, so many memories came flooding back, like the day I went and purchased it. You know, this was a big deal for me. This was probably the newest and nicest car I'd ever owned at that time. And it had 75,000 miles on the odometer. This was huge for me. It was a really big deal. And it used to have a flip out touchscreen radio right here. Now it's got a bunch of somebody's stuff in it. And obviously this car is just, it's done. You know, there's no coming back from this. But it's crazy. It's crazy. A decade after I had originally bought it, just randomly walking through Copart and seeing it. And it's unlikely you'll ever see another one quite like this. It even still has the factory exhaust. We didn't upgrade the exhaust or anything. I bought it with a body kit. I thought it was a cool looking car. And yeah, here it is. So we'll throw up some pictures here and you can see what it looked like when I bought it, the day I bought it, before the accident. Here we have a 2009 Chevy Silverado. Now, I know it may look kind of like carnage. This isn't a carnage vehicle. This is one that I am somewhat semi-considering purchasing. I've been thinking about moving from my Ford, as I said earlier, and buying something else, something maybe a little newer. And I've always had a thing for Chevys. I've always been a real Chevy guy, and I love the body style of this truck, although you can't see how gorgeous it is right now because it's missing all of its parts. Some things to pay attention to are that the front end looks like it's completely intact, and that's because it was not in a front end collision. Frame rails are going to be good, core support is good. The issue we had was in the fender area, and all of the parts are in the bed. So it was sideswiped basically, so we got fender damage. We've definitely got some tweaking to the door hinges. I would replace the door hinges. This door has been tweaked right here. It's also been tweaked right here, and going all the way down the truck, all the way down the bed as well. So mirror, the whole side of the truck basically, which is why this thing was totaled. This is a lot of work. You're talking about 2 doors, the fender. Most of the front end components are still here. The bed, this may have one of those beds that you can actually take apart. No, it does not. Some of these beds actually have bolts that you can just unbolt the bed side and replace it. It doesn't look like this is one, so this is one you'd be replacing the whole bed on. It's a lot of work, and it's definitely gonna cost a bit of money. It's really not bad looking though. I mean, other than the obvious damage, looks like we may still have a, nope, that tail light is no good, but the grill looks like it's fine. That fender is totally shot. The bumper is tweaked as well. You can see it's crunched in over here, especially where the door was. It took a pretty good hit there. So it's gonna need a lot of parts. Gonna need a lot of parts to put it back, but on the plus side, the tires are so new, they're still blue. The white wall, or the white letters are still blue. You got a lot of nuts and bolts, which is good. It comes with a lot of the parts that you might need to put it back together. It's got nice looking rims, locking lug nuts, so hopefully it has the, oh, and the hood is latched. Hopefully it has the key to it in there somewhere. I don't know, 163,000 miles on the clock, but we'll put the key in real quick. It does run good. It's got a nice touch screen. It sounds good. There is the locking lug key right there, so that's a good deal. Change oil, tire pressure monitoring system. Does the window work? Yes, it does. It's totally fixable, and I don't think we've got any suspension damage down here either. Everything looks good. You know, honestly, the truck looks worse than it is. Be careful with this hood. It's only hanging on one hinge over there. But it runs great. It runs great, and I mean, it really does. It looks rough because you got pieces hanging everywhere, but what does this go to? Windshield washer? Yeah, windshield washer. We'll tuck that out of the way here. Not on the exhaust. Stick it behind the brake master cylinder. It runs great. What do we got, a 5.3? Yes, we have the 5.3, which is a great motor. Solid engine. Take a look underneath. There are no leaks at all. None. And this is a 2-wheel drive truck, so this is pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Exactly what I was looking for. It's just going to need a ton of parts, but it could be a long-term project. You know, there's nothing stopping it from running and driving. We could put a fender on it, door hinges, and you could drive this truck just like it is. All it needs is the fender. Put the front end back together, probably a headlight, a couple other minor pieces, but you put the front end back together. This is a running, driving truck. It'll be good to go for quite a while, and eventually you can get around to replacing the bed, and eventually you get around to replacing the doors. It'd be nice if you could find the doors in this color. I don't know how this looks on camera, but this is like a really interesting blue. Very, very interesting blue color. We do have some cab corner damage over here. Honestly, I don't think I'd worry about that at all. That's really not that big of a deal to me. And this door, honestly, isn't that bad other than the scuffs. Paint transfer, a lot of that'll come off. Yeah, this may not even need to fix anything other than put a mirror on it, put the fender back on it, and call it a day. I like this truck, I really do. I don't even think it's got any check engine lights or anything. No, everything's good on this. Air conditioning works too. All right, moving on. What do you think? Before we move on, comment below, tell me what you think of this truck. It'd be a great rebuild project for the channel. And how about another Volvo V70? This one's a tad newer. This is a 2010 Volvo V70, and this thing is in excellent condition. I'm honestly shocked. It doesn't even need any work. Not really. 146,000 miles on the clock. This is a run and drive, sunroof, tinted windows, nice tires. Look at this, man. Look at this. What a beautiful, beautiful car. And here's the damage. Here's the thing. This has the 3.2 in it, not the 2.4. Look, this closes perfectly. Look at that. Look at the lines. There's no damage to the hatch or anything back here at all. Look at these lines. Forgive me for sounding excited, but this is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with this car. It took a rear end hit, and a very light one. I mean, a very, very light rear end hit. So light that I'm totally shocked that they would total it. Now, the crash bar has been tweaked a little bit, but it's not like the crash bar is smashed up and completely useless, like bent to the point where it's done. It did take a hit. It did push it in a little bit. Not too bad. The back bumper is still intact, and obviously, being that it was a rear end collision, you're gonna have some damage to the rear bumper. But the bumper isn't even broken. It's just paint transfer. It's not that bad. This is a car that, for a car lot, there's no need to even go through the trouble of trying to repaint or rebuild. You could literally put these old parts back on and sell it. It would be fine. There's nothing stopping this car from being sold. Look, you got all your little nuts and bolts right here. Unbelievable. And it's totaled. It's salvaged over this. This side looks perfectly fine. This side, look, there's a tiny ding right here. That's it, a tiny ding right there. It's totaled over that. Deals like this are ones that you can jump on and really, really come out good on. This is a nice one. This is a real nice one. Does it come with that GPS in there? Wow, look at that. It's got a GPS. Look how clean this thing is. Let's see if we can put the key in it and fire it up. It should be a run and drive. Oh, is it push to start?
There's the key. It comes out of the fob.
The key comes out of the fob. Well, this looks like it's a push to start, though. Forgive me. So, yeah, engine start right here. So it looks like we got to put the key in, and then everything on the dash starts coming to life. Fired right up. Let's see if we can turn the heat off. I don't know exactly what buttons to push here. There we go. Look, Volvo, a Garmin Nuvi, and it comes up saying Volvo on the screen. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's interesting. It's like part of the car or something. It's bizarre. I've never seen that before. And it runs good. Runs real good. This is nice. Does the window work? Yes. And this, I believe this is a pure sale. So this is one that I'm going to keep my eye on. Oh man. Okay, it's not a V6. That's a straight 6. Well, Volvo does not screw around, do they? Man, that's a massive engine. Wow. 3.2 liters of inline 6 in a front wheel drive car. Mad props and respect to you, Volvo. Wow. I totally expected this to be a V engine. Very interesting, very unique. Very unique. Wow. Okay. I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about this motor at all, but I'll tell you what. She runs smooth. Real smooth. What kind of tires? We got Michelin tires. These are Michelin Pilot HX. These are MXM4. Matching tires. They all match. All 4 set of Michelins. Now that tells you a lot right there. If somebody's willing to spend that kind of money on Michelin tires, they probably spared no expense in maintaining this car. And she is a beauty. That's another one we're going to keep our eye on, guys. I got a lot of good cars this week. But we can only get probably a couple, so it's going to be tough to decide between all of them. Here we have a 2012 Chevy Volt, and this one had my attention when I first walked by it. I was absolutely determined that we were getting this for the channel, and now I've decided I'm not going to. And it all comes back to why it's very important you come out here and look at these vehicles before you bid on them. Now, I'm one of those guys where I always like to say, as my dad told me, do as I say, not as I do. You will see me a lot of times bidding on cars sight unseen, and a lot of times I come out ahead on the deal. But there are definitely times where I come out on the losing end. It's just the way it goes. It's basically like playing the lottery. Actually, I think it works out better than the lottery. I think the odds are better than the lottery. But yeah, so do as I say, not as I do. I get a lot of people that comment, oh, you're always saying look at the cars first, but you bought that car and this car and this car and you never looked at it. That's because I never spend money that I can't afford to lose. When I buy a car, sight unseen, I know that there's a possibility I'm going to lose that money. And I take that into consideration when I bid on a car. But I don't want you or somebody else watching the channel that's only got X amount of dollars to spend to blow that money on a car that turns out to be a dud. So I always tell you, come out here, look at these things in person first, unless you're bidding on something that you can afford to lose however much money you have invested into it. Now the Chevy Volt's an interesting car. I really like it. It's actually pretty cool. For a 2012, this thing is pretty advanced. I'm gonna put the key, wherever the heck the key goes, I don't even remember. Great. I had this thing started up the other day. I came out here and looked at it and, oh, it's push to start? Yes, it is. All right. Let's turn off. Whew, it smells. Someone's got too much air freshener in here. It smells like a laundromat. All right, so you've got a nice little touch screen in the center here. And then you've got another digital screen back here that's gonna be a lot more difficult to see. But there you go, brighten up that camera a little bit for you. There's the digital screen. This car does not come with the charging port. It does run. You can put it in gear. We'll put it in drive, and it will go forward. And you can put it in reverse, and it will move backward. Okay, great, right? Seems like a good deal. What's wrong with this car? Especially since it's sitting at like 1,500 bucks right now. Well, number one, it used to have a window. In the Copart pictures, it shows the window, but at some point the window fell. Not only did it fall, the window shattered. So this window is gone, and any rain, any precipitation has been inside the car. Now, that's not a huge deal. It doesn't bother me that much. We got a cracked windshield, and it does go across the whole windshield, and it is in the driver's line of sight. So the windshield will have to be replaced. So, hey, that's a small expense. Still, no big deal. Looking under the hood, everything looks fine. In fact, everything looks excellent. So, I don't see any problems here either. But where we do have a problem is this puddle under the car. Now, this car is listed as undercarriage damage. It's got a split bumper right here. It's got a busted fog light, so those are more things that need to be taken care of. But this puddle is the bigger deal, and unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to get my camera under here for you guys. I'll try. But that transmission is leaking its fluid on the ground. Now, it's a very slow leak. It's not pouring out, but as you can see, that's a pretty big puddle that's accumulated over the last couple days. So the transmission case is cracked. I was able to get somewhat under there when I was here last time and take a better look at it. And it's definitely got a cracked transmission case, and it is definitely leaking transmission fluid out of the cracked case. So now, because of how slow the leak is, perhaps you could get under there with some type of, I wouldn't say JB Weld, but I'm sure there's some type of epoxy that you could try to put on it, refill the case, the transfer case, or the transmission, whatever you want to call it, and perhaps that would resolve the issue. Maybe it'd be a temporary fix. It's hard to say, but honestly, with a cracked case, that's one of those things where I wouldn't trust something with a cracked transmission case to be driving long distance, going across the country, road trips with the kids, anything like that. You know, it would just be sketchy to me. But for resale on a car lot that doesn't mind not telling their customer that the transmission's held together with JB Weld, hey, this could be a great deal. This is where you plug your car into either 120 or 240 volt outlet. It's got plenty of room in the back for two people, since it has a kind of this console thing going on in the middle. And in the trunk slash hatchback area, it's actually got quite a bit of room back here as well. It's a very nice looking car. The body leaves some to be desired. It's got dings and minor dents and scrapes, you know, to be expected with an older car like this. But I feel like for me, at the price point we're at right now, and we're not even at the auction day yet, Now this thing's going to go way beyond what I'd be willing to spend, considering all of the little things it needs. You know, the transmission is leaking. That's a huge problem. Bumper cracked, fog light busted, cracked windshield, blown out window on this side, and it needs one heck of an interior cleaning. I mean, a bad interior cleaning. No charging cable. Those are going to run like $300 to get a new charging cable. I'm going to say this one's probably not for me, but I will say this. If someone does buy it for $1,600 or $1,800, I still think it's a good deal. It'd be a fun car. This one's just not going to be for me. But comment below, what do you think of the Chevy Volt? I hear lots of good things about these. People seem to love them. Personally, I've never seen one before until today, so really cool being able to check this out. Here's an interesting car that I haven't seen before. It's called a Hyundai. I think it's called an Equus, EQU or EQUUS. I think it's got this interesting emblem on the front. It almost looks like this is a car that's trying to be something other than a Hyundai. I can already tell from the intake runners, this is a V8 twin cam. There's not much else I can tell about it because it's, I mean, honestly, this is a carnage car. But it's still a car that I want to show on the video because I've never seen one before and I was kind of interested in it. I will put that tape back. Oh, never mind. It's taped up top too, so we're not going to screw with that. It's got a little bit of damage back here. We got this, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Some kind of a bird? I don't know. So yeah, a Hyundai Equus, or is it even a Hyundai? It just says Equus on it. I don't even see anything that says Hyundai other than EdmondHyundai.com. So we'll take a look at it real quick through the passenger side. Looks like it only blew the driver's side bag and knee bolster. This is a no start, no run. Obviously. I was hoping we could at least get the dash to light up. This thing has a massive screen right here. I mean, that is a huge screen. It's a very luxurious car, and also it's pretty big. Look at this headliner. This is very nice. It appears to be some really nice materials used on this vehicle. Why do I smell fire? I smell something just burnt to a crisp. Wow. I mean, I love the smell. I do. I love the smell. But anyway, I guess that'll be all there is to that. This thing's obviously a total loss. What is this down here? Is this some kind of a pneumatic suspension? What is that? It's made of aluminum.
Purple stuff.
Interesting. I don't know what that is. This is a really unique car. I mean, maybe not to you. A lot of you have probably seen this, but I haven't. I don't know what it is. Is this like a high-end version of Hyundai that competes with Mercedes-Benz? You guys remember, what was that? The Hyundai XG300 or XG3000? Or Tim hates those. Tim hates those. He's like, it's a Hyundai trying to look like a Mercedes. Or Jaguar. Yeah, Jaguar. Yeah, it looks like Hyundai's trying to step their game up a little bit because this is a really nice looking car. I wouldn't be ashamed or afraid to drive one of these at all. All right, let's move on to the next one. Here we have a 2010 Nissan Altima, and wow. I mean, you want to talk about some carnage. This thing took yeah, almost lost for words there. Hell of a hit. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, just ripped this car apart, man. All the way over the wheel, all the way into the back door. There's the door jamb right there and some of the door seals. And then all the way into the front door where it just collapsed it to about right here. 117,000 miles on the clock. Now there is a rebuild challenge. Yeah, not happening. Wow. I mean, this whole car was just twisted. Look at this. Look at this. And I don't think we can we get in? We can. Oh, wow. Ugh, I don't know what all this is, but I think that's somebody's juice or cake. This was a birthday cake or something. Yep. Oh, wow. Now that's sad. Yeah, that's real sad. Look at this door back here. Look how the seat is just crunched. Goodness. Yeah, that's sad. That is sad. All right, let's move on. Here's another carnage vehicle. I don't even know what this is other than a Cadillac. Otherwise, it's so mangled. I mean, I see the Cadillac badges on it, and that's about it. The roof is buckled right here. See what it looks like. Ooh. Oh, wow. Boy, she's dusty. Whew. All right, it's a Cadillac CTS. Oh man, it's a CTS V. Ooh. See if I can get you guys in here to get a better look at the front end over there. I didn't do this. It looks like their tape has just started. Yeah, this tape is all buckled and falling apart. Looks like it's been sitting here a while. Look at this. Look at the engine here. I can't open it, but look at that. Twin turbskis. Twin turbskis. Listen to them bald eagles. How many of you know where that reference comes from? All right, let's move on. Here we have a Mazda CX-5, a little more carnage for you guys. This one's not as bad, but it's still pretty rough. This thing took a very hard hit to the front, and for obvious reasons, this thing's totaled. I mean, it's toast. Man, not only did it take a hit to the front, but also got crunched in the back. Suspension damage, nah, that looks fine to me. And this is nice. This is a really nice CX-5, or it used to be. I've only driven one of these once. Take a look in here. It's a pretty luxurious looking Mazda. That screen in the middle though, that really makes me think of Mercedes-Benz. I really like the way Mercedes do that. They implement their infotainment system very, very well. It's really easy to use. I really love the way Mercedes-Benz does it. But this Mazda here looks pretty nice too. Not really for me. This isn't my style of vehicle. I'm not really an SUV type of guy, but I figured we'd show you some more carnage. So let's move on. We got more things to look at. So here's another truck that I'm interested in. You guys comment below and tell me what you think. The buy it now price is, I think, $5,500. I don't know. It's a 2011 Super Duty. It's an F250. And overall, it's in really good shape. It's got good tread on the tires. It's two-wheel drive, which is what I wanted. A high mileage, 185,000 miles, but it looks like it's been taken pretty good care of. There's a lot of dirt on the inside. That's going to be normal for a work truck like this. Now, the other 2011, the F-150 that we looked at, it was in really rough shape inside, whereas this one, it's got a little tear on the seat here, but overall, this is not in horrible bad condition. Definitely needs to be cleaned up, but this one still looks like it's a very usable truck. Now, it runs great, air conditioning works, heat works, and it's got these really cool strobe lights. I don't know if the strobe lights work with the engine off, probably not. Oh, they do. Look at that, we got strobes. And we got strobes on the front. Now that is not a selling point for me. I don't care about the strobes. It's just kind of a cool factor type thing right there, right? I like it. LED strobes. We'll fire it up for you. It runs well. The suspension seems to be in good shape. Turn these strobes off. Can somebody, I have a question for you guys. An honest question. What does this button do? It just says on and off, and it's got a picture of basically the drive shaft going between the front wheels and the rear wheels, and the front wheels are turned. It just says off and on. And then it lights up on the dash right here. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. So obviously the truck sustained front end damage. This has the big engine though. This has got a 6.2 liter. It's got a big motor. E85, so it's, you know, whatever. I don't use ethanol, but if you wanted to use flex fuel, you could. All this crap would need to be taken off, but it's got a backup camera built into the rearview mirror. It's got a good sized bed. The truck itself appears to be in excellent condition all the way around, except for the front end where it took that little bit of a hit. And it's not even that bad of a hit, guys. It is leaking some tranny fluid, so I'm going to shut it off here in just a second. It's not leaking badly, but it is leaking. Obviously, we took a nice hit here that definitely affected the header panel. This headlight is shot, header panel shot, bumper shot, grill is shot. But aside from that, everything else appears to be okay. Like I said, this is the 6.2 liter, and I really like that. The more torque, the better for pulling cars. You can see right there, 6.2. The engine looks to be in great condition. Powered by Ford. Now, I really am a Chevy guy, but I will say that I really do like this truck. I mean, I really do. This looks like a great truck. No frills, no power options to speak of. Manual locks, manual windows. It does have cruise control, so that's something. It's got a trailer brake kind of sitting there in the middle. Looks like it used to have a radio. You can turn the passenger airbag on and off. It runs just amazing. Good oil pressure. You got your transmission temp gauge. You've got your coolant temp gauge. That's nice to have. No check engine lights. We'll go ahead and shut this sucker off. But if any of you could comment below and tell me what this button does or what this switch does, I would really like to know. Really curious. And tell me what you think about the F-250. I think it may be a little overkill for trying to just pull some cars around, but then again, it's got a nice stiff rear end on it, so it might be great for hauling bigger cars, although I don't really know if that's anything we're going to do. My F-150 would probably do just fine hauling cars, but like I said, I am looking for something a little bit newer and something a little bit nicer. I think with a little bit of work, this thing could really pull it off. But then again, I also really like that 2009 Chevy Silverado, the weird blue color one that we were looking at. I really do like that one as well. So comment below and tell me what you think. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this F-250, or would you go with the 09 Chevy? Ugh, dang, this thing's high. I mean, obviously, this thing was built more to work than the 09 Chevy. That's more of just kind of like a grocery getter type pickup truck. This one's going to have a lot more horsepower and torque. Torque is the main thing we're worried about here. It's got rear seats, so I like it. But comment below, tell me what you think. If you had to choose between this truck, and I'm not saying we're getting both or either, but if you had to choose between the Super Duty F-250 right here or that 09 Chevy, which would you pick? I kind of feel like this one, but you know, again, $5,500, and we're going to need quite a few parts to put the front end back together. Moving on, how about this for some carnage? A Honda Accord that had its back end shoved into the rear cabin. I mean, whatever this was, just rolled right through it. Had to have been a truck, you know, had to have been a big truck. I mean, rolled right into the back seat. Yeah, that's not happening. Oh, and it's bejeweled too. Oh man, and it's bejeweled. Look at this. Look how the back seat, is that a car seat? Oh my God. Oh. Okay, all right, I'm out of this one. You know what though, it looks like the child was all right. Look, yeah, I didn't even see any of this. You got the first years, you've got the car seat in the back, but it looks like they had it right, man. So props to the parents of this child, a little girl. Look, here's a little girl's harmonica right here. Little Mermaid, wow. Props to the parents for having a good car seat properly installed, because I guarantee you that car seat saved that child's life. Mad props to those parents right there. Here we have a 2008 Ford Crown Victoria. This looks like it's the Police Interceptor version because it's got this fancy smancy light right here. That makes it worth every penny of whatever it sells for. 143,000 miles on the clock, and no, it is not wrecked. Here's where the antennas used to go. They've plugged them off. In fact, you can see on top where the light bar used to go and more antennas. So this was definitely, yep, Police Interceptor car. So why is it here? This one is not wrecked, but it is salvaged. Let's take a look at the engine and see what we come up with. This wheel is turned to the right. Let's see if the other wheel is turned to the right as well. And it is. Okay, so it looks like the front end is lined up the way it's supposed to be. Do you see anything wrong under here? Ah, I found it. Found it, I did. Look up here, and you can see what looks like smoke, fire. There was a fire in here. And you look down, and you see these wires going to the ABS module. Honestly, it looks like the ABS module caught on fire down here, folks. Look at that. Can you even see it? Look at these burnt wires. I don't even know if that's coming out on video, but yeah, this thing definitely got crispy. Yeah, it looks like the ABS module caught on fire on this. I'm surprised that they still have the battery hooked up to it. That's wild. Normally on fire cars, the battery's disconnected and you can't test them out or anything. Oh, look, we open the door and water starts pouring out of here. Okay. So, here's where all their fancy computers and stuff used to go, their radios. Let's put the key in it. I'll bet you the ABS light's gonna be on. What do you think? Yeah, ABS and brake light are on. Although the brakes feel nice and stiff. But it seems like it hasn't affected the brakes at all. Extra light right there. Oh, she does run good. Look, we turned on the spotlight. I could play with these cars all day. Goes right into gear. Trunk release. Do we have air conditioning? We do. I heard the compressor kick on. You already know that a cop car is going to have AC. AC is going to work, and the windows are going to work. And they usually just shove these seats back in here. Yeah, these seats aren't even bolted up. Yeah, they take these seats out whenever they put a cage in them. Although I don't see, yeah, there's where the cage was installed right here. Yeah, these seats are pulled out when they buy them, and they just throw them back in when they sell them. They usually don't clamp them down. There's a bracket under there it just clamps onto. Look at the size of that trunk. How many bodies could you fit back here? What is this? Is this that ammonia stuff that's supposed to wake you up when you pass out? I think it is. It's Addict. Oh, it's sterile water. Sterile water. Sterile cotton. All right. Hey, honestly, not a bad looking car at all. Not at all. And I'm guessing that fire at the ABS module burned up whatever it was that was causing the problem. So, hey, now she's good to go. You just don't have anti-lock brakes. Runs great though, doesn't it? Depending on the price, this could be a win. This could be a win. You just have to take all this apart, get down there into that wiring harness, and figure out what else has been burned up. I don't know, did the lights work? I mean, when you get a fire like this, there's no telling what other damage has been done to it. It looks like the lights work though. Yeah. Oh, this one's intriguing. What about signals? Yeah, signals work. Horn? Horn doesn't work. So that got burned up. But overall, everything else seems to work perfectly, so we'll think about it. We'll think about it. Comment below. What do you think of the Crown Vic? I've always had a thing for these cars. The problem is reselling them. Cars like this just don't sell very well. That's something Mike and I learned trying to sell that Fire Lincoln that we had. It just didn't go very well. It took a while to sell, and it didn't sell for what we'd hoped to sell it for either. And that car didn't even have 100,000 miles on it. So yeah, maybe not a great flip car. I am not sure if I've ever recorded this one before, but this, I believe, used to be a Chevy Impala. I don't think I've ever recorded this, and I'm pretty sure I didn't. Wow. This used to be a car, folks. Jaws of Life came in here and clipped the B-pillar. So obviously people were in it. Wow. Could you imagine? Not sure that airbag could have done a whole lot of good. Whew. Wow. It's hard to even like know what to say seeing stuff like this, you know? The A-pillar's been cut too. The good news, I don't see any blood in the car. So here's what the inside of a battery looks like, if you've ever wondered. All right, man, so much carnage. All right, let's move on. How about a 1981 Nissan 280ZX? Yeah, she's seen better days, without a doubt. I wonder if the hood will open. I'm betting it will not. No, the hood is. You know what? I'm trying to open it the wrong way. The hood opens from this side. Yeah, the hood is latched in the middle. We might be able to get it open. You see how long it's been since I touched a Nissan 280 or the 300? Yeah. There we go. We got the hood open. 99,000 miles on the clock. And man, it actually looks really, really nice. This thing is in remarkable condition. And those T-tops. Gotta love the T-tops from the 80s and the louvers, man. Gotta love them. What a nice, well, okay, it's not a nice car anymore. It used to be a really nice car. This is something you would have seen me driving. Yeah, it's too bad it took such a hard hit to, oh, we're not getting this open, are we? Nope, but there's what's under the hood. Gotta love that straight six. Remember the turbo? They had that turbo straight six and had the scoop right here on the driver's side. Gorgeous car. This is North Carolina. I recognize this inspection sticker because I used to live in North Carolina. How about that? What a nice car. At least it was. Although we had a lot of bubble and rust under here, under the paint. Still savable though, didn't go through. The car has still got a lot of great parts. It'd be a great parts car for somebody's project. I just love the smell of fire cars. Here's a 2007 Subaru Legacy. And man, that was a hot fire. Look at this. The hood is gone. Just like a pop can. The timing belt is still partially attached right here. It's still got some of the metal belts. Look at that. Oh, I love the smell. I mean, sad for the people that owned it, obviously, but hey, you shouldn't have put that system in there yourself. You should have paid somebody to professionally install your stereo system. I'm kidding. I don't know if that's what caused it or not. Sucks to lose your car. I understand that. I just try to make light of bad situations sometimes. Oh, man. Lots of keys. What do you think? Should we try to fire it up? Fire it up. No, that was horrible. That was in poor taste. Yeah, pretty poor taste. I agree. I agree. Yeah, okay. Okay, there's nothing special about this car other than the fact it was just, this is a crispy critter, man. God, that must have been hot. Wow. All right. We got some more carnage for you today. We're not done yet, folks. We are almost done, but we're not done yet. It's a 2016 Dodge Ram. Man, look at the carnage on this thing. Another truck that took a major hit. I see this so often in trucks. I should Google and research like why it seems like I see so many trucks that are just in just bad shape. I mean, I could do trucks all day long out here. Man, what a nice truck this was. It still has a new smell to it, which is surprising because it's got 36,000 miles on the clock, but it still has the new smell to it. Lots of dog hair all over this thing. But aside from that, oh, they had a lot of sand in the back too. That didn't help. It bent the bed and shoved it into the cargo area back there, into the passenger compartment. Yeah, that sand, that hurt. That hurt. That destroyed the bed. That destroyed the cab. I mean, as if it wasn't already destroyed. I mean, this thing was toast regardless, but wow. Wow. Okay, moving on. How about a 2012 Ford Raptor 6.2 liter? I've actually rented one of these before, and I drove it for a day, and I really, really loved it. Biohazard. We have blood on the airbags. And you can see that through the window there. There's definitely some blood on the airbags and on the door. Watch out for that stuff. Now this thing was brought in. There's blood all over here too. There's blood splattered on the window. Blood splattered on the window here. I think by now this thing was brought in to Copart, I think 2/27. So it's been about a month. So I'm pretty sure that there's nothing to really worry about from any of this blood as far as biohazard stuff goes. I think everything will be fine. But you know, I'm not sure I really want to touch it. Look, we got blood over here too. Yeah, I don't know. Comment below. I'm not an expert on how bloodborne diseases and stuff work. We'll climb in through the back here. We can get into the truck and take a better look at it. From inside the cabin, that doesn't look bad. Definitely got more blood all over the center console here, down here. I don't know if you can see that. I don't really want to touch. I use my camera. I don't really want to touch any of this. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but man, this thing took one heck of a hit, didn't it? This is a big truck. Big truck. I love the Raptors. I really do. Oh, we got lights on now. What did I do? Hey, look at them tires. Yeah, this thing got tweaked real good. Look, you can see the engine, everything under there. Now, I believe this is the same 6.2 liter that is in that Ford F-250 Super Duty that I was just looking at. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain this is the same motor. Comment below if you know. I won't know till I go and look it up on Google or something, but I'm pretty sure it's the same engine, so same horsepower, same torque. What a beast of a truck though, man. I love the Raptor. Normally I wouldn't record a 2007 Hyundai Sonata because really there's just nothing special about it, but this is one that's just like that, what was it, Nissan Altima that we saw earlier, except this one just got rolled over in the front. I mean, look, from the frame rail up, everything is just gone. Gone. I mean, everything. Look at this. Right into the front. Biohazard. I mean, obviously, someone was in this car. That definitely hurt. Let's see if we can get in it. We can. Oh, wow. Lots of blood. Oh, it soaked through the seat. Yeah, look at that. There's blood pooled down onto the floor. Wow. Man, oh man. That's crazy that the passenger is the one that seemed to have sustained the majority of injuries when the driver's side is what got completely rolled over. How about a 2016 Chevy Camaro SS? Yeah. Not interested in repairing this one at all. But I would bet money that we still have a very good and usable powertrain. I guarantee you the motor is fine, the transmission's fine, so there's definitely still money sitting in this car, even though the body is, you know, it's shot. It's not just the front either. We got rear end damage as well. But You know, looking around under here, looks like all the valve covers are okay. The intake's all right. The front of the engine looks fine. So I'm sure we got a good motor and training here. And this is something somebody could use for a project car of theirs, or for a flooded Camaro that they wanted to turn into an SS. It's not that hard. Man, still smells new. Wow. As you can see, the rim right here is just gone. I mean, absolutely gone. There's a lot of usable parts on this. You know, I keep thinking about that V6 Camaro we were looking at earlier. Yeah, this poor car, man. This poor car. Yeah, suspension, there's just every panel's damaged pretty much. The roof is buckled. The sides are buckled. Poor car. Okay. And moving on. Psych, we're not moving on because that was the last car on my list. I didn't even realize it. I also didn't realize Tim and I have been here for 3.5 hours just recording footage. So I'm sure this video will come out to be around an hour long, maybe an hour and 15 minutes long, but it's crazy. An hour and 15 minutes for you guys is 3.5 hours walking around out here. And then I got to go home and spend another probably 2 hours editing, all so I can make a 1 hour video. It takes a lot of work, guys, but I'll tell you what, I actually really enjoy editing video. It's a lot of fun. I love recording these Copart walkarounds for you guys, and it seems like you folks love watching the videos. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, and you continue watching this video. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed the content, please give the video a thumbs up. And helping to support the channel, the best thing you can do is share the video. Share it with your friends, share it on social media. I appreciate it. You guys have been doing that a lot lately, and I've been seeing the numbers go up. I certainly appreciate all of you for doing that. I'm gonna get out of here, so please like the video, share the video on your social media, and hey, stay tuned for the next one. I think we need to get the Sebring in the shop and get it torn down and figure out what we're gonna do with it. Stay safe out there, everybody, and I will catch you very, very soon in the next one.